600 pounds?
Yeah, about 600 pounds. But we've done a show where we carried these upstairs.
It is possible.
One step at a time. It's like, there's enough handles on here.
There's a lot of handles.
That we could do it. And the case is designed to fit through a 36-inch doorway, which is the standard, like, handicapped accessible doorway in the United States. I learned a lesson a long time ago that that's not the standard in Washington, D.C. They built a lot of buildings in the 50s in D.C. that are only 32-inch doors. And I've been saying for years, oh, it goes right through doors, and we couldn't get something into a DC.
Typical for Washington.
But they're heavy, they're robust, and one thing that's not obvious is that one end of this case has locking wheels, the other end doesn't. The end with the locking wheels, I'm going to rotate this around now.
All four wheels do rotate, though.
All the wheels rotate, but I've rotated the case around, and if I push it away from me, these pair of wheels here present their little locking tab, so I can step on it and lock it. I now know I'm at the front, this being the front. So when I push this back slightly, all the wheels show up here, and I can lock this in place.
Very important.
Now it's pretty stable, right? There's a couple of reasons to do that. One of the reasons is that I've castered the dolly around so it's over here in the front, because when I swing these open, the weight comes all the way to the front. If the casters were dollied around the other way, it's a little tippy. You know, and it's not going to fall over, but it
not on its own.
Not on its own, but it wouldn't take a lot of effort to push the thing over, right? Which led me to thinking we got to figure out a way to put some weight on the back of this. Well, it turns out that if we take this front piece off,
the small one,
and the back one off, we can take either one of them once it's open and put it back on the back.
Like
in fact,
this.
we can stack them on top of each other, and then the case ends up being a counterweight.
And not just a counterweight.
Not just a counterweight. Wait, there's more. If you put your computers inside of this, it's a little echoic chamber.
Anechoic.
Anechoic chamber.
It's a sound isolation.
Sound isolation.
Right, so you get loud fans on your computers, your network switches, things like that. You really don't want that in the classroom environment or the lab environment or whatever. Put it in here, it really helps to decrease almost all of that ambient noise.
And you don't have anything in storage, which is really good for a trade show. It's also good if you're going to set up a conference room ad hoc, like we could take a couple of these, take them upstairs, and turn our dining room today into a conference room in not much time. And we don't have a bunch of casework to hide while we're doing our show. We got a place to store it. So it's kind of well thought out. We've been doing this for a long time. All right, we'll get this one out of here. Oh, let's unlock the wheels.
All right, I need to unplug.
Yeah, go ahead and unplug.
So this one is you, I think, right? This laptop?
Yeah.
Dell. And this one, oh no, this is the Dell.
Okay, yeah.
So part of the problem with these larger displays is they're very fragile, especially around the edges, and moving them around is a multiple person job. And it turns out that in a typical computer lab, it's pretty hard to get people who are two people who can work together with enough coordination that one of them isn't moving when the other one isn't. So it's very easy to set one of these down on a table momentarily and just touch one point first, and that's enough to break it. Yeah. So it's like, that's why we don't want to move these. One, two, they're also pretty heavy. I mean, you know, they're awkward and heavy. When they come, they have metal handles on the back, but the metal handles aren't located in a way that's user-friendly to go from the case to put it anywhere. You can't really, your wrist is always binding, and you're trying to change grips, and they're just a nightmare. So this helps a lot.
So I'm trying to clear things out so we can actually maybe rotate this around. All these guys are here, but I think we can do it if we bring it forward and then cheer that way. Yeah. Okay, to you. Okay, that's probably good. Are we? Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah. I think this, will that clear it? Yeah. We're good. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you, well, not quite what it looks like. It'd be down, right?
Yeah. Well, we can like plug it in and push it down.
Yeah, we might as well take these guys off, right?
Just don't. You can take it part way. Look at the idea.
Actually, if we rotate like this, I might be able to get down while I'm holding it. Here. Let's do it. Alright, I need power. Can you plug this guy in? I need the power to be towards me, though. Alright, this is something you would never, ever, ever want to do. Do not do what I'm going to do.
Count Todd's fingers now and count
Yeah.
after he does.
So the thing I am doing very, very wrong right now is you never want to have all this cable crap still connected when you're putting it down. It's an absolute bad idea. I'll probably regret it.
Maybe you should.
I'm a trained professional. I mean, it's okay. I'm not going to lose a finger, but it's more about just destroying the cable. So basically, there's a little red button right here. Pushing away from you goes up, pushing towards you goes down. So the reason why I think this is okay for me to do right now is because I'm holding all the cables in the middle. I know that the middle is okay, and I should have checked with Greg. The other thing you always do, you should have two people when you're doing this, one person actually operating this, another person watching the front.
That's why I'm standing here.
Yeah, and I just trust him, but I should have asked, are we clear in the front?
So the front is a guillotine.
The front is literally a
slice
guillotine.
and dice people. Have to put their hands on it.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm assuming we're all good, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bring it all the way down, but I'll bring it down enough to simulate what it sort of looks like. So let's do it like about there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We see it.
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
still got your fingers.
Yeah. So this is, you know, basically what it looks like, right? These guys, as you can tell now, are up against this velvet plush area. That's what's really protecting them. Yeah. I don't know, Greg, do you want to say any more about the protection factors here?
Yeah, a couple of things that are going on here. So everything is on this center assembly, and the center assembly is triangulated back to take the load while they're flagged like this. So when they're back like that, they're trying to do this. It's trying to tip everything down because this is what's the central support. There's a diagonal brace in there that keeps it from tipping to the back. The combination of the post and the brace mounted to a piece of plywood down below. The plywood is resting on foam, which is sitting in the bottom of the case. And then these big chunks of foam on the sides are holding that piece of plywood in there. So the plywood is free to move around about a ½ inch in each direction. So all of this is actually floating on a bed of foam inside of the case. So that's why there's not a tight fit between the foam here and the panels. So everything is free to move around, and that's so that it can absorb shock in transportation separate from the outside shell. Kind of like packing your eggs inside of your clothes, inside of your suitcase. That's the concept. So far it's working pretty well.
It is working really well. I mean, Tom did talk earlier about how we are losing some displays, but put it in perspective. I mean, we have a lot of displays here. So we shipped 32 displays to SIGGRAPH, right? Mm-hmm. Out of that 32, 1 broke. That's about a 3% failure rate. That's actually not that bad. I mean, considering that how many we're actually sending, relatively speaking, that's actually pretty good. You know, yes, it's still $4,000. Yes, you know, it's a pain to have to take it out and order another one, but that's why you always bring at least 1 spare.
Of course, we spent 5 times that much sending people there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
We did throw the money.
Yeah.
The airlines didn't give us, we don't get to use the airlines again.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring it up now. So we're clear in the front, Greg?
There's one other thing that I want to mention is that, so each of these panels is about 65 pounds. And so you can do the math real quick. This weighs more, they weigh more than I do by a bit. In order to lift it cost effectively, What we're doing here, what I'm doing is there's a gas strut here that's pushing up on this plate, which is lifting everything. So the gas strut basically holds it up. I don't have to do any work then, but it won't go down. But if I added enough weight, I could overcome the gas strut and push it down. And it's the same kind of strut that's used to hold the tailgate open on a SUV, that kind of thing, although it's extra long. It's the longest one that I could buy, which is how we came up with the height that it comes up out of the case. So in order to put it away, so if it wants to stay up, it'll stay up indefinitely as long as the struts doesn't leak. In order to put it away, you have a mechanical linear jack that actually shoves it back or pulls it back down. So it's in its safest state when it's up and open, right? And once it's shoved back down and closed up, when it gets driven around and shaken during transportation, the screw jack will slightly back off and let it start to open up, and it actually opens up a little bit into the lid, which is lined with foam. So the top of the lid is all nice soft foam. This bar here is keeping this back from banging into itself. So we've created a slot in the case that holds the back in place loosely. Everything is loosely in soft foam. The reason for the velvet on here is that the foam will pick up dirt and grit, and that'll scratch the screen if it rubs on it. So at least with this, you can clean it. You can vacuum it and clean it. So that's the other thing that's important with these, is that in the past, I've sent road case lids out to storage at trade shows and have them come back with pigeon poop and sand and grit from the dock on them, and then have people put that right up against the screen. I get the screen back, and my nice anti-glare coating has all been removed in transport. So that's all sort of the thinking here, is to create a nice soft landing place that's cleanable.
And then that you can keep in the booth.
And that you can keep in the booth so the pigeons can't get at it. Okay, so that's the kind of, those were all of the objectives that we tried to embody into this, and that's like 15 years of doing show experience, what to do and what not to do. So, beam it up, Scotty.
I'm over here. So what I just did is I brought up a, oops, sorry, a little one sheet for...
I need a volunteer. Who wants to beam it up?
Anyone? Anyone? Come on.
The closest one.
Huh?
Huh?
Push, push, push.
So while he's doing that, on the stage wall, I put up a one sheet for you guys. So this is Optiportable.com. This is a independent contractor, Glenn Murray, who is working with us to provide you guys and anyone else who's interested in the Opti kit. That basically is the road case with all of this 80/20 frame that goes with it, with the gas struts and everything. So basically, you get it, and you just have to connect the displays and the computers to it. So contact information is up there. You can also just you can email Glenn at optiportable.com. Okay. Okay. Shall we rotate around maybe to show? You're gonna have to move out of there.
Rotate it around to show what?
The back side. Bring it towards me.
No, we can go look at the backside on any of them.
No, you don't want to.
Alright, yeah, look at the back of one of these when it's over.
Okay.
But, so,
Okay, let's go
in
this
final
way.
deployment, you always want to have it out maybe a foot from where it goes, lined up pretty good, and then push it back as the last element, because that'll rotate the wheels around in the front, get them where you want them, and say, oh, that's pretty good, and we'll lock it.
Okay.
Once it's locked, well, we don't have enough
Oh.
room to swing here.
You don't.
Unlock.
Move it over. Here, that's fine. Let's bring it forward.
It's easier to move that.
Okay. Wait,
Now we can-
wait. I have to lock.
Well, you can swing it.
Okay. Okay. And I wired this thing. Here, just want to pull that.
All right, swing it open.
So it's a pretty elaborate cabling system that's going on in the back of there. You'll definitely want to do a lot of cable management to to deal with it. I mean, there are a lot of very sharp edges. You can't have anything on the inside, like on the plane right behind the display, because there's, I don't know if you can see, there's this 45-degree here post that's supporting it. Basically, that acts like scissors. So as this is going down, there's a flat piece of 80/20 going all the way down the bottom. When you fold it in, that's basically rubbing against that angle. So any cable that's hanging down in this open area will get chopped right off. So you really need to be careful about pushing all your cables flush to the back of the display.
Right, so there's two schools. Basically there's 4 DVI cables going in here. It's pretty easy to just undo the 4 DVI cables and take them off. Then once it's down, you can roll those up and slide them back into the case in between them. Or you can carefully roll the DVI cables up, unplug them from the back of the machine, roll them back up to the back of the display in here, and there's a hollow space back here. We put a couple of Velcro straps in there. You can hook them on there, but you do have, if you're going to do that, you have to be in the back where the button is while you're pushing it down, looking at the giant scissors to make sure your cable hasn't flipped out there, or it'll just shear it right off. And it won't stop. It'll just cut it like no tomorrow.
So basically, we have a little shortcut. We've already installed Sage on here. That's the little desktop icon. I double-click that guy. It brings up the Sage launcher. So this is how you can store previous sessions. I'm just going to go ahead and do a new session. Hopefully that will work. Let's see. It was actually running previously, but
Crashed?
It crashed earlier, and Joe left, so that may be bad. Doesn't seem like it actually started, did it? Let's try it again. We have one auto-save latest. Huh. Let's see if that works. Uh-oh. So I went into advanced mode. This tells us a little bit more information. It says that it's actually running already. Interesting. Uh-huh.
If it crashes some of the daemons, so you can stop it.
Let's see what we got. I think that, isn't that, yeah, that's this. Yeah. And that, there's nothing else. That's just the computer. Yeah. Yeah. So let's go ahead and stop it. Okay, everything's stopped. And then start. Hey, lovely. Okay, there we go. And so what's happening here is it's asking us about connecting with that wall. So this is what was running previously, and hopefully it's not going to ask me for a password or anything like that. But we basically, now we're going to try to connect to the other wall. There's my mouse. Let's see, I'm going to, oh, it's not going to let me do it, is it? Just as a normal user. Connect as user, I don't know why it's not like, oh, maybe do it. There we go, connect. Hey, looks like maybe we're connected. Okay, so this is, I need a mouse pad. So this is, by the way, it should be noted, this is a single node system, right? All the other ones that we're using over there have all single nodes per display. Oh, thank you. Careful, watch the cables. And then it also has one head node to rule them all. This one is just a single machine driving the whole display. So, you know, if you only need a 2x2 Optiportable, you can actually get away. What? You can actually get away with just having one machine. All right, thank you. Okay, so let's see. Did I lose my cursor? No, here we go. So this is the Sage UI. It's showing us everything that's going on here. I actually don't need that. I'm just going to hide all that. Okay, so now we've got all this stuff going. I don't know what my mouse keeps on hiding. Here it is. Not sure. For some reason this mouse is no good. Does he have a gyro on this one? No. Blimey. Blimey. Okay, well, we might just do the one-dimensional sort of thing, or one-directional thing. Excuse me.
So, just a quick question. You just said 4,000. That's 4,000 for one of the 4 screens, so it's 16,000 altogether, right?
Right.
Okay.
But that's not the total cost.
Right.
No, that's just.
That's just the display panel cost. You know, so this nominally is like 20 grand for the box with the stuff, and then PCs on top of that. And it depends on the horsepower that you want on the PC, what the cost of that is. But, you know, it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars, which a couple of years ago it would be.
Okay, so cross your fingers and hope it works. So the way that we share from one wall to another, we've already configured this in the background. You saw earlier that it asked me to connect to room 1. This is room 1, that is room 2. So we can actually see a little button up here that says share with room 2, right? It's real simple, drag and drop. So I'm going to go ahead and share this image. I'm just going to bring it up there and drop it, and voila! It shows up over there. Yay!
Magic!
All right, and it's that easy, you know, vice versa. If I had, you know, reliable mouse control over there, I'd be able to drag all of those things over here. So it's pretty simple. Once you actually have it working, you know, everything should be real good to go. All right, now any other questions?
What happens if you share back with room 1? The person we go just keep sharing.
Is it like a mirror in a mirror?
It's on. No, that's actually a good question. I'm not sure if it would recognize it.
It's like that.
I think
Yeah,
one of
I know,
the
it's just
key
an
things
easy
they're
thing.
trying to show here is that they can get the system up and running in a matter of minutes, and as long as you had it set up beforehand, you could show up and be demonstrating the same day.
And this is the system where if we purchase it, have everything shipped here, come and assemble it, and then take it back. Is that what they were saying this morning?
Yeah.
Like Tom was saying, we do a Tom, how was that? It would be a 1-week training?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it in less, but, you know, I think 1 week you get the hardware and build the thing, get the software, get it run through the software, and then you want to have couple of people come. One is typically, some people are better at the hardware side and some at the software side, but our application side, we tend to craft these based on what people's expertise is when they come in. You guys all seem to be pretty high level, so I'd say that as long as all the parts are here. Huh? Well, you know, I think, you know, it's nice in the wintertime where you are, but it's lovely here. You know, so we get a lot of, I noticed that I do a lot of traveling except in January and February because everybody comes here.
So I realized if anyone wants to try to test this out, the Sage pointer that you guys all installed, you could connect to this one also. This is the IP that we're using. This is on the public internet. You can be, I think, on the guest network and try it. I have this working on my phone. It wasn't working with that wall, but I'm going to go ahead and try to connect here.
That'll work with the guest network.
No, I can get unprotected.
Oh, okay, but they can't.
No, right.
So they can't test it.
Right. So I can actually try to show you how this is at least supposed to work here. So you bring up the Sage UI. So that's this guy here. And I actually could move stuff around here with this. So for example, I can take this guy, put it up over here. I can maximize him, do that over there. So you can control it from the UI. We're actually in the process right now of remaking a new Sage UI that sort of more tightly integrates audio into it. But this is the current version of the UI. So there's all these applications over here, and it sort of shows you what's already loaded, and it also allows you to add new ones. So I'm going to go ahead and try to add a new one. I can't actually, oh, I missed it. I can't see from over here which one is what, though. Oh, is it still moving? Okay, thank you. Why is it? Huh, strange. No. I'm trying, it should let me do a new one. Interesting. This one's acting weird. Left to start it normally. Yeah, okay, this is a different version. So normally you would actually get a another window there. Let's see.
So can you use that UI to share with room 1? Or is
That is a good question, Tom. I don't think so, because I can't really push it to that button there.
So what's happening? You can use the mouse there, but not in the
Yeah,
Sage
for some
window?
reason my mouse is just not showing up in the actual window itself. I've never seen that before.
But if you had a laptop,
Yeah, anyone with their
connected to
laptop
it,
connected
then
right now
you
would
go
be fine.
Take that and dump it in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom, you've got a laptop.
Actually, I looked at my
Oh. Okay. Well, if anybody wants to do that for bonus points, you can try to
But they
connect.
try to get to it because they can't get on UCSD Protect.
I'll let you use my password. I can get you on.
If they don't have a certificate.
Oh, you're right. Okay. But you can. So while Greg's trying to do that, let's go ahead, sit back down, turn our seats around, and do a little Q&A.